Hello, and once again, we are live with the Modern Mystery School UK EU podcast and YouTube channel. And today we are joined by the lovely Ling. Ling, how are you?
Hi, Sisma Kate. I am doing fantastic. How about yourself?
Well, I am excited because we are going to talk about Healers Academy. So that always brings a big smile to my face. Now, can you tell us, Healers Academy, first of all, for people that are watching, is a 5-day, we could say, class, but it ends in a beautiful initiation in our lineage. You come out with the life activation, the aura healing, and being able to deliver the max meditation system. But can I ask why you wanted to go to Healers Academy and what was your experience?
Well, first of all, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to share. I went to Healers Academy. Well, I actually tried to go to Healers Academy 3 times, and I only made it on the third try. Well, I went honestly just from I did the Empower Thyself class initiation, and I didn't really understand. I'm like, okay, cool, I like something cool here. But then a few months after the first step initiation, I woke up one day and I had so much peace, I had so much joy that I never thought was possible. And it was in that moment that I thought to myself, wow, where I was, if I could feel like this, others can too. And I wanted to share that light with others. And so that was a moment I thought to myself, I'm going to do all the things I can on the path and as much as I can. That was a while ago. Yeah, and so I tried to go to healers. First time, second time, it didn't work out. I guess I wasn't ready. So yeah, I went from a pure desire of the heart that the first step initiation was so good. I want to now be able to have something to share with others. That was that pure desire. And my experience with Healers Academy, I think I was, as much as I had that pure desire, I was also very wounded. I didn't, it was as much as I could feel when I was in the temple space, I really could feel how beautiful the energy was. It was hard for me to stay there for 5 days because it was hard to imagine that like being loved this much was possible, like being healed as much was possible. It was hard to imagine a world that could be this beautiful. And so I think I was sitting in class for 5 days with both, the part of me, like you could say there's the divine self that no, like, yes, this is where I'm meant to be. My soul was saying yes. And then kind of the human self was like, yeah, right. So there was that whole conflict that was happening, but I ended up having a great experience. I loved it. The months after Healers Academy was like the most joyful time of my life up until that point. I just felt so light. Now I have a tool. I started sharing max meditation. I started sharing live activations, and then and then I got the Teachers Academy a few months after, so I got more tools to share. Yeah, so was there resistance? Yeah, it took me 6 7 months to get to healers, but I got to do it in London as well. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, and that's important for people to know, I think, is that when we go on these journeys of wanting to have a better life, could we say have more joy, have more love, have more, there's obviously things that need to change because we would have already been doing that anyway. So going to something like Healers Academy, where we're receiving, a lot of light and working on our spirit, our soul, our spirit, nourishing those parts of us that haven't been, like you said, nurtured for a very long time. It's a very different feeling, isn't it? Than just having a, for me anyway, just having a regular healing session or something. Going into something like that is multidimensional and something that helps us to understand that we're way more than just this, which is really powerful. So being on the path, going to Healers Academy, do you think that, because your background is high level corporate, so what would you say? Is Healers Academy for everybody, or is it just for people that need healing, or is it just for spiritual people, or is it just for us? You know, what would you be your answer to that?
Wow. Yeah. It's definitely not just for people who think they need healing or any of that. I would say that Healers Academy is the right step for those who want to make the world a better place. And it could be in whatever way, you know, maybe you're a mom and you want to help heal your family, right? You want to help create a healthy, happy family environment. Maybe you are a high executive at a company that you want to lead people to better paths, or maybe you are already in a leadership in a positions where you are already impacting a lot of people, and one now with the next level initiation, with the energy and the support from that, with the greater understanding, greater access to the divine and to the hierarchy of light, and with the tools that you receive from the initiation, now you have more ways to, like, yes, not emotionally, mentally support somebody, but also spiritually support somebody and truly offer them this chance to have more light within their life. And if I may, Sister Kate, there's a story that I really wanted to share about Healers Academy. So so before I went to Healers, I referred somebody to get a live activation. She got it, needy. She loved it. And she got initiated. She loved it. And then when I came back from Healers Academy, she referred her friend, yeah, to me to get live activation. So he was my first live activation client. I did not know what I was doing. Okay. And as it's been 6-7 years. He's grown tremendously with with your support, with Aaron's support, and obviously the third order's blessing. And he and Aaron, they just had a 9-person Empower Thyself class and initiation, the first one in India.
I know. It's
So
incredible.
it came from that one light, somebody who didn't know anything, did the live activation, gave them the light. They then took it and continued building it. Right? Nobody could predict this. And so I think, yeah, if you just know it in your heart, even with suspicion, even with skepticism, but if there's any part of you in your heart knows that you want to help make the world a better place, Healers Academy is the place. And so I definitely invite you to give it a try. Spend the 5 days in the temple, receive the light, receive the tools, and then share them. And you never know what is possible.
And I love that, your first life activation, and it goes to prove you didn't think you knew what you're doing, but you did know what you were doing, and it works. And there you are, there's the results. And that's interesting, isn't it? Because our negative ego can come in like that and say, oh, maybe it's, but when you trust in, an ancient, tried and tested, holy empowerment tool, and you follow the steps, the alchemy works. That's it. It just works. It's beyond logic. It's beyond our, human logic, but it is absolutely 100%. And as you said, now here we are, just had the first initiation in India from that one life activation, which is absolutely incredible. I just love that. What would you say to somebody who's on the fence about going to Healers Academy? Maybe they're a little bit scared to go to, maybe they don't know anybody. Maybe it's just like logical things. It's like, oh, I don't know anybody. I don't know what it's going to be like. I'm not, what would you say to them?
I would say trust yourself. Trust in that feeling or that voice, or however you perceive it in your heart, that got you to this point where you're pondering, right? Like, it's a big deal to even think about it, contemplate it. I would say trust yourself. Like, I mean, what's sometimes I don't know. Hopefully this helps. Like, what's the worst thing that could happen? You know, you spent 5 days there. You didn't know anybody, but after 5 days, you meet more people, and who knows what else you could receive. So yeah, trust yourself and just know that you'll be you'll be okay. Everything will be okay, and open up to the magic because we don't know what could happen. Like what is possible. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Magic.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I agree with you, and thank you. And thank you for sharing your story. And you know, I know we'll have you back on the show and such like, but thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me again.
And thank you, everyone. If you are thinking about Healers Academy, you just heard it, just trust yourself, go for it. And, you know, we have classes happening in May in Toronto. We have classes happening in London in October and Toronto in May. And, you know, check the calendar. It's happening a lot. So you are welcome. You are welcome to all of them. So thank you again. And we will see you all again soon.